It's been more than 2.5 years since Navy veteran Gary Steven Pressley died by suicide in the parking lot of Dublin's Vinson VA Medical Center. His family says it happened because he was in so much pain and his VA doctor stopped giving him pain medicine. As Wanya Reese explains, Pressley's family received a settlement from the VA, but they are still concerned that other veterans are not getting the life-saving care they need.
A serious accident left Gary Steven Pressley with a fractured hip, pelvis, and chronic lower back pain. We examined the lawsuit filed by his mother against the VA, and tonight, for the first time, learned the moments that led up to Pressley's death.
Come on, baby. There's a good girl.
It was Christmas of 2019 when Rhonda Michelle Wilson of Forsyth got a new hound dog.
Yeah, that's Miss Chloe Wilson. My husband bought her for me so that I could use her to help with my grief.
Wilson calls Chloe her therapy dog, bringing comfort as she grieves her son, Gary Steven Pressley.
Because I miss him. I want to hold him. I want to hug him. I want to talk to him like we used to talk all the time.
In April of 2019, Pressley, a Navy veteran, died by suicide in the parking lot of the Vinson VA Medical Center in Dublin.
But he lived like 45 minutes from here, so it was nothing for him to just show up at my house, say, hey, Mom, or for me to just show up at his house to see him. And I don't have that now. I have to go to the grave to see him now, and that sucks.
Last year, Wilson filed a complaint against the Veterans Administration saying Pressley killed himself because of negligent treatment by the VA. The United States recently paid her $1 million to settle that claim, but Wilson says she's still faced with more questions than answers.
If he'd have been in pain management, we wouldn't be sitting here today. If they hadn't reduced his medicine, we wouldn't be sitting here today.
The documents filed by Wilson's lawyer, Peter Bertling, described her son's struggles through the winter and spring of 2019 as he coped with what they call excruciating pain. In February, Pressley notified the Vinson VA that his outside pain management doctor would no longer treat him because the VA was not paying the provider. Depositions from the lawsuit show Pressley turned to the VA health clinic in Macon for help, and the doctor there, Dr. Ibilichuku Wagbada. The deposition goes on to explain Wagbada didn't know for at least a week that the outside doctor had stopped treatment. The VA doctor denied a refill of Pressley's prescription, then agreed to approve it, and after some confusion, the deposition says Pressley's daily dose would be cut from 4 pills to 3.
He needed the opioids for his chronic pain. That's why his pain management specialist appropriately prescribed him the opioids.
But when Bertling questioned Wagbada during a deposition, the doctor admitted that she misunderstood a VA meeting on opioids.
But she didn't even sit in and listen to that. She was going back and forth and not seeing seeing patients. And she also didn't know that it was something that was recorded that she could have listened to later.
After his hydrocodone prescription ran out, the doctor's deposition shows Pressley called the Macon clinic on April 3rd, 4th, and 5th to try to get it refilled. On the morning of the 5th, Wagbada told Pressley over the phone that he would have to take a drug test before she could decide to refill the prescription, and she would check on his consult to see a pain doctor. Pressley texted his girlfriend that he would test negative because he hadn't been taking the medicine. Still in pain and with no medication, Pressley told his girlfriend that afternoon, at 5, they can find my body at the Dublin office. Pressley's sister tried to call the Dublin VA for help, but she says no one tried to locate him or help him. A VA police officer found him in a parked car around 8 p.m. with a gunshot wound to his chest. After Rhonda Wilson filed her complaint, attorney Bertling says they found more alarming facts. During her deposition at the Gateway Plaza, Dr. Wagbada said she became a federal employee in 2018 after working for the VA as an outside contractor. But she said she never received special training in taking care of veterans, like prescribing opioids or opioid therapy for chronic pain. She had never seen and was never taught the VA's guidelines that recommended tapering off opioids. She also testified she would work after hours to get work done and reported in an employee survey feeling moral distress.
Dear baby girl, yes.
Even though Pressley's mom settled with the VA, she says life will never be the same.
I can't spend Christmas at home. Can't spend Thanksgiving at home because he's always here. No, he's not.
We reached out to the Dublin VA for a comment, and they said in part after this tragedy, the medical center leadership immediately implemented additional suicide awareness and prevention training. We maintain a comprehensive suicide prevention training program for all staff, including those responsible for answering the phones after hours, and have since expedited hiring additional mental health staff. We will continually review policies and procedures and implement any necessary improvements to prevent similar tragedies in the future. Wilson's attorney is still pursuing a lawsuit against the contractor that took the call from Pressley's sister. They allege the contractor did not act properly to get Pressley help. For 13 Investigates, I'm Wanye Reese.
We did make several attempts to reach Dr. Wokbada, but she ultimately referred us to the VA Public Affairs Office. To read the doctor's full deposition for yourself, look for this story on 13WMAZ.com. You'll also find extended interview clips from Wilson and her attorney.